just what the Rangers really mean to me. These last few years I've been afraid that we might drift away. So I've been telling old stories and singing songs, made me think about where we come from. That's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Irish Stadium's close to me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Laudrup and Trevor Stephen, Marvin Andrews said, keep believing, Davy Cooper on the wing. We remember Gaza with great affection, the day the helicopter changed direction. Jimmy Baxter, he was pure perfection. Super Ali scores again. Well, let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium's cozy, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
Hello, hello, and welcome along to the Gers TV this Thursday night, the day after the European disaster. Introduce you to the guests tonight. In the studio to my right, we've got Lewis. How are you doing?
Not great, mate, to be honest. Not great.
Okay, and we've got Jason. How are you doing?
Same. Fed up. Last night was a disgrace. But looking forward to chatting all things Rangers with you boys.
Good stuff. And we've got Dylan. How are you doing, Dylan?
Just the same as well, man. Absolutely scunnered by how we've been playing.
Okay, and behind the scenes tonight, on the decks and the controls, we've got the Gers TV founder, Simon, as well. Simon gives his thumbs up there. He's a bit shy tonight, doesn't want to get. He's a bit annoyed at the moment, so just giving us a thumbs up. So really just one main topic to discuss tonight. If you want, guys, we can briefly talk about the game, or we can just move on to the main subject, which will be Russell Martin and the current predicament we find ourselves in with him at the helm. So, do you want to do a quick recap of last night, or just move straight on to Russell Martin?
I think we have to. I think we have to dissect.
Holy Made everyone's something's wrong. Right.
Sorry, we seem to have a wee gremlin in the studio at the moment, and it's not the dog this time. Okay, so last night's game didn't go well at all, but for humiliation. Give us your overall thoughts on it, Dylan.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible. I turned it off after the third goal. Max Aarons as well, like diving in like that as well. The first 10, 20 minutes. I don't know
5
why
minutes.
he's not playing. Why he's not playing Tav as well in one of the big European matches. Years of experience for us. Digged us out so many holes in the past in European games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay.
I think the problems were as soon as that lineup came, everyone saw the lineup. It was disgraceful, really. The fact that he would leave Raskin out, I was fuming at the time. You know, he's got so much experience in terms of European games, getting to the quarterfinal of the Europa League last season, but he puts them all on the bench and plays all of the new players that he brought in without that experience. And I think he came out and said before the game that he wanted to get all of his goal scorers on the pitch. But that's no good when we can't keep the ball out of the back of the net because we've got no one there to protect the defence because Rothwell's not doing that. You know, how easily he gets skipped past. When we got the first yellow card, I think we got a yellow card within 3 minutes. It started by Rothwell easily getting skipped past, but then he doesn't track back. He doesn't run, doesn't bust the gut to get back in and try and make a tackle or make a block. It's just laziness. It doesn't look fit. And Raskin must be thinking, like, what am I doing here? Like, you know, he's got a World Cup year coming up. And he's sat on the bench for him, for Rothwell, and it's just not good enough.
Yeah, I'll just come in quickly in the back of that. So before the game, Russell Martin said he wanted energy from the team, and he actually singled out Raskin for praise for his energy when he came on Sunday against St Mirren. Because you remember at the end of the game, Raskin tracked back with 60, 70 yards, made a great challenge, probably saved a goal right at the death. And after the game, Martin praised Raskin and his energy. Then he said on Wednesday morning, he needs energy in the team. And then he drops Raskin.
It doesn't make any sense.
So remember, Raskin's Belgian as well. So if he's going to, even if you don't like Raskin, if you don't rate him, if there's one performance if there's one game he's going to put a good performance in, it's in his home soil and in front of his home crowd, probably with his friends looking on. And he's going to play. He's going to give it all.
Mm-hmm.
But he was dropped for Rothwell, and I don't understand Russell Martin's comments after this Monday game, before the Club Brugge game, and I don't understand these. A crazy team selection, and it's 8 new players, 7 of which I believe are the very European.
I know. I don't understand the thinking behind that. You know, why are we starting so many new players in a game like that? And then, you know, I want to see Asgard do well. I want to see him being brought into the team. But again, even in this sort of game where he hasn't been playing at that level, he was injured for a lot of the start of the season. Why is Asgard coming into that midfield as well in this moment at such a big away game like that? I thought that was another risk to me. But then as well, I'm looking at the right back situation and Max Aarons. I mean, in this game, I know Tau has his critics, but no one can tell me that Max Aarons is an upgrade on Tau. There's absolutely no way. He doesn't seem like he even wants to be here anymore. And that red card that he got with 8 minutes on the clock was just an absolute embarrassment. And he's lucky that he's not being sent back to Bournemouth, because if I was in charge, that's exactly what I would do. Get that guy back to Bournemouth, because he's not been showing up in any of the games that he's played in. He's been very poor. And keeping the captain out of the team, which, you know, I think on Saturday or on Sunday even, that's going to change. I don't think Max Aarons is going to be starting for us anytime soon, because he just let his team down. And you see, you know, even though we went 1-0 down before he got sent off, the capitulation in that first half was just incredible. Something that I can't remember seeing from a Rangers team before. I think we're losing the mics. Yeah. No, we're losing a couple of mics here. So, Dylan.
I just completely agree with you with the Max Aarons as well. Every time he's on the ball, he just looks so uncomfortable. He's always trying to run into danger by the looks of it. He's constantly going into the midfield. And to be dropping Tav in these sort of games, it's just absolutely criminal. Like, he's not done that a lot to get dropped in these sort of games as well. He's, like I said, he's saved us so many times in the past European campaigns.
Yeah, just going through the comments then. We've got a comment from Nicholas Stubborn who says, why is it that supporters think that Raskin is our saviour that's going to make us world beaters? He's been here 3 years. What have we won since he's been here? Energy ain't good enough. We need a midfielder who can dictate the play and pass the ball. Now, I think Rothwell was probably brought in to do just that, try and dictate the play and pass the ball. But in these big European games, you need someone who can put a tackle in my opinion. You know, you need someone who's going to run for the team. Ideally, you'd be able to control the game and dictate the play and pass the ball, like you're saying there. But just, you know, he's not been performing the way he should be, Rothwell. And for me, still, Raskin is the better option than number 6. Unless we can get someone and we can improve on that situation, I can't see why Rothwell's playing. And for now, Raskin definitely has to be our number 6, starting number 6.
Yeah.
Are we back? Still not good. Still not good. Dean Hutchin here. The manager should be gone by now. My only hope is at the board are waiting for the international break to do it. Dylan, what are your thoughts on the manager? Do you think he should be gone?
I thought he should have been gone at half time, to be honest, but it is what it is. I think maybe the board are waiting until Sunday to see if he can pick up a result, or if we get another doing, and then surely he'll be off in the international break then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big game, massive, because if we lose, we go 9 points behind. But all of the owners, you know, the big dogs are going to be there. They're going to be watching. The pressure is on, so we're going to need to step up, you know. But if we do go and get beat and we're 9 points behind, then there's absolutely no way that he can survive that. You know, I don't care how early in the season it is, he has to be gone. And I think the international break would be the perfect time to do it, because you've got what, 2 weeks there to settle everything down. But I can understand why he's not been sacked yet, because we do have that big game at the weekend. And I think more importantly, we're still trying to bring players into the club. You know, this is the last week that we can do so. And if you just sack the manager, then it's going to be hard to convince players to come and join us, because then they don't know who the manager is going to be and whether the manager will even want that player. So I can understand it for this week. But I think we all know if he loses that game on Sunday, he's gone. Boys, are we back?
Yeah, it's true. Back in here. Still with a bit of interference. Sorry,
No.
I think Russell Martin's in charge of the studio tonight.
He definitely is in charge. Doesn't want us talking rubbish about him, but still not good, Lewis, mate.
Another thing, the way Russell Martin plays as well is just. I seen a podcast the other day with Andy Halliday on it, and Andy Halliday was trying to claim that he plays attacking football and high press. We've not seen it so far.
We've not seen it so far, have we? You know, everything that he has promised us, he has not delivered.
Yeah.
If we were playing attacking football and we were just unlucky, you know, a couple of goals here, there, sloppy defending and stuff, but at least we can see what we're doing going forward, we could accept that. But the fact that we're not getting anything going forward, we're not nothing defensively, we're weak at the back, we're weak in both boxes. It's just, there's no hope there, and the fans have absolutely had enough, and rightly so, because this isn't what we were promised. You know, when these new owners came in, new sporting director and Kevin Thelwell, new players, we've expected and we deserve a lot better than this. Nicholas Stubborn again with another comment here. Aaron shouldn't pull on the Rangers jersey again. I'll have Casarejo back in an instant. He looked the part. I agree with you. Aaron should definitely not pull on the Rangers jersey again. I'll be surprised if he plays any minutes at the weekend, to be honest. Are we back,
Wouldn't
boys?
surprise me if Russell Martin does start him though.
If Russell Martin starts Max Aarons and Joe Rothwell on Sunday, the reaction of the crowd is going to be something else, you know. And if we go 1-2-0 down in the first half, that halftime noise is going to be incredible. Right, so we back. No, can't hear you, boys.
Okay, if you can't hear us, just carry on talking.
Just on that comment there from Peter, completely
No.
agree. Like Russell Martin got caught out so many times.
Okay.
He was unbeaten in the championship, and then
Okay, let's go into
he just went on a complete losing streak.
more comments. Peter McCready, I'll lay odds on that Aaron starts ahead of Tav on Sunday.
Yeah. Just want to see if you can hear me at the moment. Any of you guys can you hear me at the moment?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Jay, can you hear me at the moment?
I can hear you now, yeah, mate.
Okay, hopefully that
I can hear you.
No.
I think it's that.
Your mic's gone, Lewis, mate.
Right. Okay. So just getting back to the point.
Christopher
Right.
Golabek says, okay.
I was just going to say that I don't think we expected to be an absolute world beater. I think the point that we've made the last couple of weeks is that he has to be better than Joe Rothwell in that position. He's not at this moment in time world class, but he's shown in the Rangers jersey far more than Joe Rothwell certainly has. And I think that he's an asset worth a lot of money. And to replace him with a guy that's probably not fit doesn't show a quarter of the passion. It's crazy. So, yeah, if you want to get rid of Raskin, that's fine. But at this moment in time, he is the best option we've got.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I wouldn't even have Rothwell as my backup number 6 at the minute. I'd be looking at Connor Barron. I'd prefer Connor Barron to have some more game time than him. At least he can run around. At least he can put a tackle in. At least he can put a block in. At least he wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to playing for this football club. You know, Joe Rothwell doesn't seem to be doing that at the minute.
Yeah, and it was interesting on last night when Barron and Raskin came on. Although we're still getting absolutely pummeled, at least they were putting in challenges, and Barron ran about, as you said, and putting in 2 good challenges. So at least they've got the spirit and the passion. Whereas somebody like, again, just going back to when Joe Rothwell was went off in the last couple of games, that's when we started to look a better team.
But I from my midfield, that is what I want. I want that spirit. I want that passion. I want them to win the ball back quick. Joe Rothwell won't give you that. So I'd rather have 3 combative midfielders who can do that, and then give the ball to the Gasamas, give the ball to the Ant-Mans, to the striker. But at least the front men know that they've got a midfield behind them that's going to win the ball back quickly. You know, and then at least that'll put a bit of pressure off the defense and not make them look so vulnerable. We've got to put pressure on the ball immediately when we lose it. That's what we need. Christopher Golabek here with a comment: build a back four solid back four, then build a team around it. These players are not Champions League worthy. Well, if you look at the back four, we've got 3 of them. The back four that started at the on the game last night, they're loanies, you know, and then one playing John Suteries in his last 12 months. So there is no back four there that's going to be future proof. You know.
Yeah, we should be looking at permanent signings, but we have spent the £20 million already, so that the board promised that we were going to get. So I think we're waiting on exits just now to try rake in the money. I think the European money was going to play a big part there, but also we've dropped out of that competition now, so I think it's Europa League money we get. And then I think that's what we're waiting on for the maybe last week or two of the transfer window.
Okay, so we could try and bring Lewis in.
Lewis. So we do still have a few days left of the transfer window, and we have spent quite a fair bit of money. I think about 17 million, but we've still got money to spend because we've obviously got the Jeff Day sale. We've got 6.5. Ikmane's medical today, so that's 10.5 in the bank. And then you've also got the money from us getting to the playoffs. I think that's like 4 to 5 million. So you've got money there to still spend. And we are looking like we are going to spend with Miovski coming in. And I think we've agreed a fee for around 2.6 million. And I like that player.
Hey, gentlemen,
I
I'm
really
here
do
now.
like this
I'm
signing.
here now.
There we are.
Yeah.
Lewis is back. He's working.
Any better?
Yeah, much better, mate. Much better.
Okay.
Cool. I was just saying there that we have some money to spend due to obviously Iggerman passing his medical today, so we should get that money in. We got the Jeff Day money and the money for us reaching the Champions League playoff. So there should be still some money to spend in the remaining week. We're going to buy Miovski for 2.6. But what other area of the team should we be strengthening before the end of the window? Gordy, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to look at defence absolutely urgently. I mean, if you watch us this season, we've been saying on this show all season and the majority of last season as well, that we are losing the same goals week in, week out. It's either a ball right in the middle of defence. We're playing a high line, which encourages teams to push up on us and then counter-attack and break the pace. And in the SPL, for example, that's what teams do against us. So it's an open invitation in the SPL. We are playing this high line. The balls are getting put in behind the defenders. Aaron's fell for it last night and got a red card for it. That's why, Giga didn't make the challenge on Sunday against St Mirren because he would get red carded. And then the other side of the coin is that in the European games alone, our opponents have created more than 100 opportunities to score against us in every game.
Mm-hmm.
On all the games combined. And that's a crazy. And then corners, the goals last night wasn't even particularly great bits of skill for Club Brugge, good passing, but it was just a simple crosses into the box. Just simple crosses into the box. It wasn't until the second half we actually won a header. Can you believe that's another start from last night as well? We didn't actually have a touch in the Club Brugge box the whole game, but we didn't win a header to the second half. And I don't know if it's the players or the managers.
Just to compliment that one. Yeah. I was just going to say, 88% of the aerial duels yesterday were won by Club Brugge. We won 12% of aerial duels.
Yeah, and the guys we brought in are quite small. I think Alan McCoy's made the point in commentary last night about them being quite physically small. But our defenders, we're not stopping the crosses before they come in. So our left back and right back aren't actually stopping the crosses to coming in the box in the first place. When they do, no one's looking, no one's communicating with each other, no one's talking to each other. No one's looking around or marking effectively, and they're not even challenging for the ball. And it's mad.
I know.
That's the area we need to fix. Either bring in another defender, or we do it in the training field. But Russell Martin keeps saying, if you look at Russell Martin's interviews as well, it's the same goals he was losing at Southampton. Look at the quotes for it's the basics. It's basics. It's the same. The Southampton fans are sharing Twitter posts in interviews where he's saying, we can't do the basics right. And then fast forward 12 months, it's the same at Ibrox. And it's an absolute joke. It's just an absolute joke.
Yeah, I know. For me, we need someone at the back, a left centre back who is vocal, who is an organiser, who can get that defence in shape and start communicating. Because last night there was just absolutely zero communication along that back line, and it cost us time and time again. Lewis, what are your thoughts? Who would you bring in?
Well, there's plenty of names I could say that I would bring in. I'm just going to touch on what you were actually saying about Max Aarons playing last night. I think that red card that happens, I don't think that happens if Tavernier's in the park. I think Tavernier wins the ball. Either that or he's more disciplined than Max Aarons and feels the need that he doesn't need to make the challenge. But in terms of bringing in, I think bringing out the squad on Sunday, I would probably say, the two obvious are bringing in Tavernier and Raskin, but Raskin's future looks quite uncertain, supposedly. Rumours coming about in the last maybe few hours or so. Raskin possibly being asked to leave, or Raskin maybe even asking to leave. So, funnily enough, we've seen a statement from Raskin's dad, which I think.
If I was Raskin, I'd be asking to leave.
If
I was Raskin, I'd be asking to leave.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was asking to leave, to be honest. Dropping the heart of your midfield and your captain and arguably your biggest game of the season, it's just letting your ego get in the way, to be honest. It's baffling to me. It's baffling.
I know,
Dylan,
I'm
anything
just trying to see if we can
add to
get
that?
the comments up.
I agree with both Lewis and Gordy there. The thing on Raskin as well. Sorry, Russell Martin. He's like driven two of the best players away, and Igaman and Raskin. If Raskin does go,
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, and it's just what the most annoying and frustrating thing for me watching the game is it's schoolboy stuff. It's like when I played for this, even for the school team back in the day, it was like we were given instructions. We were told jump. We were told head of the ball. We were told
Clear your lines
aye,
as well.
yeah, clear your lines. If you can't find a man, put it into touch. We're not doing any of the basics, and you've got to wonder what was on that training pitch. So I guess my question to you guys and the viewers at home is Russell Martin given the instructions and the players are just not taking it on board, or are the players just down tools already for Russell Martin? What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like he's lost the dressing room already in maybe the first two league games. Like we seen a couple of weeks back the training videos, and they were in the wheelbarrows, doing the wheelbarrows and all that in the training videos. So
I don't know. I mean,
Sorry, Dylan, this is a family show, so see when you say doing the wheelbarrow, like can you explain what that means, please? And keep it clean. Like I'm not really sure what was going on there. Are you sure you are watching the right videos?
Gordy, that's the
just
most
for the
that's moved
players
in the
were
last
walking
24
on their
hours.
hands.
Right, say no more. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I think he lost the dressing room before the first league game of the season, to be honest, because I mean we've seen after the game against Motherwell, he was already throwing players under the bus. He never named specific names, but I think majority of us knew who he was talking about, to be honest. I think Raskin was one of them anyways, possibly even Tavernier and even Diamande as well, being one of them. So your first league game of the season, one of your first competitive games of the season, you're already throwing players under the bus. I mean, it's way too early for that, and two, he's blaming absolutely everyone for these results except from himself, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it also seems to be the players that have been here already that he's chucking under the bus. Obviously, none of the new players, even though there are a couple of those new players that have come in that have not been anywhere near the standards required, you know. But it seems to be the players that he didn't choose, the players that he didn't sign, those are the ones that are going to be getting it. But those are the ones that we need to rely on now. We need to rely on them on Sunday. He needs to rely on them on Sunday. Because the likes of Raskin, if he doesn't start on Sunday, James Tav, if he doesn't start on Sunday, I fear the worst. I really do. That midfield three, he still has not figured out the right balance in that midfield. And he needs to figure it out soon because we're just going to keep conceding chance after chance after chance after chance. You know, we need to start looking to the future now and really finding out a midfield at three that's going to work. It's going to complement the defense and complement the attack, not put a load of players on the pitch hoping to score loads of goals without any balance there, just because they're more likely to score than others. But for me, Raskin starts and I would be looking at giving him the captaincy, for the rest of the season. Try and sweet him over to signing a new deal because we're going to need him. And if we're going to be doing this player trading model, he's going to be a most valued asset next summer if we can get him to sign a new deal, and he can help fund another rebuild, which is what we're going to be looking at when we've got 5 loan players, whatever we're going to end up with at the end of the window. We're going to need to fund another rebuild.
No, absolutely. So a comments come in from Scott Hammond watching the show, and I just want to pick up on this, if it's okay with you guys, and then talk about it because it was quite interesting. Something Russell Martin has said over the last week or so about squad harmony and how that's affecting performances. Now, it seems to me that the only thing really that's affected the harmony of the squad is Russell Martin's team selections. So, what did you make of Russell Martin's comments last night, guys, regarding harmony in the squad, and what could be the root cause of that?
I think once again it's a case of blaming everyone but himself, to be honest. The result. You lose a game 6-0 and you're up 9-1 in aggregate, and he doesn't take any sort of responsibility, doesn't take any of the blame for himself, blames it all either on the players or, as we've seen a wee while ago against, I believe it was Dundee, blaming the fans as well. In fact, no, it was I think it was either the Dundee game or the Bruges game. he blaming the fans being
Bruges.
negative. Bruges
Yeah.
game, was it the Bruges game? I
Bruce
thought
game,
that.
first leg. Yeah.
It was blaming the fans' negativity for the result, and I mean it's laughable. But if there is a problem within this whole team, a harmony, whatever you want to call it, that's I mean dropping your captain in the heart of your midfield is not going to help that.
No, I mean that's not going to help. That is you're right, Lewis. I've always admired your analysis there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's ludicrous a situation. But Dylan, anything to come in on and add to that?
Not really. I agree with Lewis. It's Russell Martin's tactics that the issue. They've clearly not worked so far, so he should be thinking about maybe a tactical change. Although he's stuck with this tactic all his managerial career, so just wait and see on Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah. So just following up that previous comment and conversation, it was 8 new signings that were in the team, 7 of them Russell Martins. So I don't really see how he could actually have that as a reason for losing the game so heavily last night. But you know, we're going to ask the people watching as well, just to kind of straw poll and send us your comments. Is would you keep Russell Martin as manager, or after only 10, 11 competitive games, would you sack him? And would you sack him right now before the Old Firm game? So let us know your opinions on that. Let us know your thoughts on that. Send in your comments, and as we do throughout the show, we can discuss them. So far, doesn't look good for Russell Martin. But so let's just open up to the panel here then. I'll start with you, Dylan, this time first, because you seem to come in quite a lot at the end. So obviously, we've been humiliated in Europe. We've not had a good start to the league at all. We've got a big game coming up on Sunday. What's your thoughts on whether we bite the bullet and sack Russell Martin, or do we keep the faith and stick with the new manager?
I think, as Jay said earlier, it's a big ask, like sacking him just now before the Old Firm. I think depending on the result in the Old Firm and how we play, maybe if we do win, we could spark on from that. But it's a big ask, and he's already been thrown under the bus by a lot of the fans. Like last night with the chant going about as well. I think his time is running up and fast.
Jay?
It's a tough one because I want him gone. I don't think there's any way back for Russell Martin. But it's who we get in next, you know. Who we get in next is the problem, because I don't trust Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart to go and get the next manager that's going to be good enough for this club. You know, I honestly fear that we'd end up with a Gareth Southgate, a Sean Dyche. We'll wait for Graham Potter to get sacked by West Ham, and then he'll be our next manager. I feel like they're going to go down that route, and it's just going to be another disaster. So for me, to be honest, the person that I want gone first is Patrick Stewart. Get him out of the club. Absolutely useless. Doesn't know what he's doing. Not fit enough to run this football club of this magnitude. And then he can get rid of Kevin Thelwell, who will then also, and then the new sporting director can get the new manager in alongside the new CEO. That would be my preference. I was looking today on Sky Sports, looking at the transfer news, and we've inquired about a striker from Everton called
Yusuf Shermiti.
And so I was looking into this Shermiti, and so Kevin Thelwell brought him in from Sporting for about 12 to 15 million, according to reports, for Everton. But he had only played 22 games, I think it was, for Sporting in one season, and he scored 3 goals in those 22 games. Kevin Thelwell brought him to Everton for 12 to 50 million, like I said, and he has played 24 times for Everton over 2 seasons, scored 0 goals.
Scored none. Yep.
We're looking at bringing him in on loan. What is the point? He's not scored in 2 years for Everton. He's completely off form. He scored 3 goals. So he's only scored like 3 senior goals in his career. I get he's only 21, but what is the point? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just keep Dessers, or rather have Danilo. Like, you just bring someone else in just to sit on the bench. And do you know what I mean? Like, where's the planning? Where's the long-term planning? What is he going to bring to this team? Like, surely we can go out there and find anyone else out there in this big wide world that we've got that can do a better job than him. You know, I'm happy with the Miovski sign. I think he'll be a good signing for us, and I'm happy that we're getting him on a permanent deal. But there's just no long-termism, and these people currently running our club should not be here for the long term either. So before we even sack Russell Martin, I think the problem's bigger than that. Patrick Stewart, Kevin Thirlwell, see you later.
Okay. Excellent points and well put as well. Lewis, just getting back to the main question there regarding Russell Martin, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of similar to you guys, to be honest. I don't even mean to cop out, but I'm the same. I mean, of course, I want him going. I mean, you're 5-0 down at half time. A manager should be sacked, and I believe the last time we seen that happen was a good while ago, to be fair, and it was with Tottenham. Was it Martin Yall? I think it's sacked at half time from Spurs. Yeah, it's not something you see often. It's quite unprofessional in my eyes, but it happens, to be honest. It happens. Would I want him sacked right now? No, because there's no one to manage an Old Firm. The first Old Firm game of the season, as much as we all think anything can be better than this, you at least want to go in an Old Firm with a manager. Like, come on. But I think if we win at the weekend, I think that just papers over the cracks, because there's a clear attitude problem at the club, and it's been around for a while. It's been around since before Russell Martin came in, before Barry Ferguson had the interim job, even before Philip Clement had the job, to be honest. I think Russell Martin's only just came in and made that worse, and I don't think many players are going to want to come in and muck for him. I mean, you see what's happening with Igamane. I think Igamane seemed more than keen last season under Clement and even Barry Ferguson, and now all of a sudden he's refusing to play and he's forcing a move away from the club. I mean, I don't think that's a conspiracy, to be honest. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't sense that many of these players are going to want to work for the new manager, and I don't think he's going to be able to attract many new players. So I would want him sacked, no matter the result on Sunday, to be honest.
Okay, interesting. Just my own tuppence worth, but I'll try and make it as brief as possible. I was guilty of giving Clement too much time. I backed Clement, much to the detriment of the way people thought of me, actually, for quite a while. But the reason why I gave Clement some more time was because he had a decent track record. He'd won league championships in Belgium with Genk, and then obviously with Club Brugge. He'd also shown potential in big games. He was very unlucky to lose a couple of cup finals against Celtic, with decisions going against us, etc. And in the big European games and the games against Celtic, you did see performances out of the team. So I thought to myself, do you know what? There could be something there. There could be hope. There's a possibility here if he gets some money, get some new signings in his own team. Well, we can see what happens. But just quickly, I don't see any of that with Russell Martin. That's the difference between.
Well, I mean,
Clement, in my opinion, and Russell Martin is I don't see anything tactically. I don't see anything organisation wise. I don't see anything from the sidelines. I don't see the players motivated. The players come out the first half and don't seem interested, and they're not capable. They're not motivated or following even basic football instructions. Don't tell me John Suter doesn't know that when a corner comes in, you need to jump and head the ball. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right. So, to be honest, Russell Martin, maybe with the exception of possibly Michael Beale, we've not really seen a situation like this before. But absolutely every single single supporter is wanting Russell Martin out of the club. I mean, the majority of managers, I mean, Philip Clement, Van Bronckhorst, even before that as well, it was sort of maybe not half and half, but a good solid percentage of the fans were wanting to keep the manager on and have faith in the manager, and then some were wanting him sacked. But this time, I think 99 to even 100% of Rangers supporters are wanting Russell Martin sacked. I mean, that speaks volumes to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is ludicrous that we're not even past August, and we are seriously thinking about, sacking the manager. But do you think? But here's another question, just to follow up with this, guys. If the worst happens on Sunday, and God forbid we lose, because I hate to think what the atmosphere will be like, but God forbid we lose a game on Sunday, do you think even that would be enough, the new owners, to sack Russell Martin?
It depends. It depends how bad the loss is. If we play really well and get beat 1-0 because they scored in the counter and put 10 men behind the ball for the rest of the game or whatever, then they won't sack him. But if we go and put in another performance like we did at the weekend or yesterday even, and get battered 4-5, then he's gone. Do you know what I mean? I think it just depends on how bad the scoreline is going to be. But before last night, I would have probably said we win at the weekend, and we're 3 points behind. We've got all the players in that we're going to get in this season, and we can really push hard from September onwards. But last night and the manner of the defeat and just And the comments from Russell Martin afterwards, and he looks beaten. It almost as if he kind of wants someone to put him out of his misery, and that's how it looks to me, and probably to a number of fans as well. And so for me, if you do get beat, he has to go no matter what the scoreline is. Get rid of him and bring someone else in that 2-week break. But it's just who we get is the issue, because, like I said before, I don't trust the people to make the right decision.
Okay, Lewis, you want to come in there with that question? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think if we lose it, I do agree with Jay, to be honest. If it's a poor performance, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer from the board. I don't see he's playing well, to be honest. I mean, last few games, it's almost like a copy and pasted interview from him after the game. It's always, we're not doing the basics right on. It's all the squad's fault. All the fans are being negative, and it's no, I'm not swearing, but it's the same stuff every single game. It's the same stuff every weekend, every Wednesday, Tuesday night, whenever we're playing. It's the same stuff that we're seeing. It's the same type of performance that we're seeing. It's the same type of goals that we're conceding as well. I mean, as much as it didn't lead to a goal, the Max Aaron sending off, it was another simple ball, either over the top or through the defence. And then it just leads to the Bruges boy running through, and then Max Aaron's, of course, having to pull him down. But we conceded a goal like that, obviously, against St Mirren. We've conceded plenty of goals like that before this season. So it's the same stuff that we're seeing every season. So I've not got much faith for Sunday. And I think we will see him sacked by Monday, to be honest.
Okay, Dylan, even irrespective of the result on Sunday, if we lose a game on Sunday, God forbid, and obviously we all hope we don't, but at that point, do you think the new owners, even though they have said, or Russell Martin's hinted that he has got their backing, do you think that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back?
Yeah, I think if we do get beat on Sunday, we'll be away. I think Philip Clement said the same, just before he got sacked, he had the backing of the board, and what was it, 48 hours later, he got the sack. So hopefully we do win and we crack on, but I really don't see it happening.
Yeah. Just want to say quite a lot to Mark Aitken. He's reminding us that the Rangers Celtic game's on Sky Sports on Sunday, so even though you don't have a ticket, then you'll pick up the game on Sky Sports. So
we're playing Celtic.
So thanks Mark for that. So that's good. So always Mark Aitken's a big fan of the show. He's watched it for years. He always helps us out with the fixtures list and all that kind of stuff. So thanks very much for Mark. Just moving the conversation along slightly. Okay, we're going to call it a slightly different angle here. Just going back to something Russell Martin said. He actually said that he didn't learn anything from the game last night in his press conference. He said that he didn't learn anything from it, but he wants the team to use it as fuel for the next game. Do you think that, given what Russell Martin has said regarding squad disharmony, given the things with Raskin, do you think he can lift the team for Sunday, or do you think it's a forlorn hope? Lewis?
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to come on to a comment there from Mark Doyle there. John Suter can't play Russell Martin's style of football, so why is Russell Martin playing John Suter as an old-fashioned centre-half? Yeah, well, I mean, going on to your question there, I mean, John Suter, was our captain the other night until Tavernier came on. Well, unfortunately, 8 minutes into the game. So, I say unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately we got a red card, but not unfortunately he came on. But hey, anyways.
So,
if Tavernier is dropped again for Sunday, John Suter being your captain and arguably being one of our worst defenders anyways this season, and to be honest, I've always been a big fan of John Suter. I've always rated him, but he's looked very out of place in that left-hand side, and it's looked even worse when he's had Max Aaron's alongside him as well at left-back. But even when we've had the boy Jaden McGoma, I feel sorry for him, to be honest. He's a young boy with not much senior football experience, especially in Europe. I mean, I don't think he's ever played in Europe before he joined Rangers.
Most of them haven't.
No, he won't have. So I've got to feel sorry for the boy. His debut against Bruges, unfortunately, comes up against a decent winger, that boy Carlos Forbes. Runs rings around them, to be honest, I think. Same with last night. So John Suter just doesn't look comfortable on the left-hand side. I do agree. I don't think he suits Russell Martin, and I don't think Nico Raskin suits Russell Martin's style of football. I think we'll get onto his situation in a bit. But
okay, yeah. Okay, Dylan, do you think that Russell Martin's got the capacity to raise the troops and raise the morale and get a performance this Sunday? What's your thoughts on that?
I hope so, but I don't see it happening. the thing with the John Sutar as well in Magoma, we signed that Emmanuel Fernandez for £3.5 million, I think it was, but he's not. Well, he's played one game because of Giga got a red card. So even just play him instead of Sutar and then play Tav at right back. I think we need our experienced players on the park for Sunday. The most leaders we can get on as well, just to try and lift the team, because Russell Martin doesn't seem the type to be able to do it.
Okay, Jason?
I don't think the players need him to get them up for that game on Sunday. When they hear the crowd and the atmosphere, I think they'll be up for it. I don't have any worries about that. I do worry, though, that it will be the starting 11 that will just make it impossible for us to get a result in that game. He'll play players that shouldn't be in the starting 11. He'll play a balance in midfield that just doesn't work, and it will just look a mess. And it will all be down to us for Martin's doing. But I don't think they need him to get up for that game.
Whether he needs the players to get, whether the players need the manager to get them up for the game or not, I don't think Russell Martin can, to be honest. I mean, every game we go behind and the players their heads just full. Maybe the exception of St Mirren, where we got to go back, unfortunately, just the one. But the players' heads just fall every time we go behind. And even if we concede an equaliser, I mean, we've seen against Muller, we conceded an equaliser and the players' heads just fall, to be honest. We didn't even go for the game. So I don't think that Russell Martin can bring the players up, even if he need to.
Okay, so we're coming towards the end of tonight's show, but I've always been told to finish with a positive. So there has been at least some positive news coming out of Ibrox today. It looks like we are very close to imminently signing Majowski from Girona. Given the fact that our strikers have scored, I think, between them 2 goals this season in 11 games, would you, if it turns out Majowski will sign either tonight or tomorrow, would you put him straight into the starting lineup on Sunday? Dylan, start with you.
I wouldn't put him straight in. I would start with Dessers up front personally. But Majowski is a good signing. He knows the league. He scored a lot of goals against Celtic and us ourselves. So I would play Dessers in front of him. But
Okay, interesting. Jay, you want to come in now?
No, yeah, I agree with Dylan. I thought about it and I was like, well, if Danilo was our only other striker, I'd be playing Majowski in front of him. But I think if Dessers is fit, he's got the experience in this game. He scored in the last game, if I'm not mistaken, last season. I would give it to Dessers and then bring Majowski on, super sub, get the winner.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got to agree with you both. I'm the same as you, Jay. I did have to actually think about that. Once again, if it was Danilo our only option, it's a no-brainer. Danilo isn't even a centre forward. I mean, the Rangers centre forward for me. So, yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, I would say Dessers would probably start. And if you're 1-0 down and you're 1 each, you look to the bench, you're going to fancy Majowski to come on and at least score you a goal, I think.
Okay, yep, very interesting. So just before we finish, I want to finish up with one last question, okay? But before I do that, I just want to say from everyone at the Gers TV, a big shout out to the Black Bull and Campus Lang, who are our sponsor. Lewis, you want to tell the viewers about the Black Bull? You've got a bit of experience there, I believe.
Yes, I do. A bit of working experience with
Inside
the Black Bull.
knowledge.
Outside college, of course, part-time. Working at the weekends, of course. Fortunately maybe working for Sunday. So, yeah. The Black Bull, it's a pub in Campus Lang. It's a 2-minute walk. Well, not even a 2-minute walk from the train station. The best punters you'll ever meet. Some of the best banter. A great wee sing-song every now and then if the Rangers are doing not too bad. So, well, I mean, even say if we lose a game, I think a lot of the punters like to try and stay happy and get a wee sing-song going. So, yeah, some great banter. And, of course, I can't mention the Black Bull without mentioning the staff as well. Apart from myself, of course. Yeah, the staff are fantastic, second to none, and will give you the best service you'll find at a pub, especially a Rangers pub, to be honest. Fantastic.
Good. So thanks to everyone at the Black Bull there. And Lewis, again, what a great advert that was. So just going to read out a couple of quick comments and then I'll ask you a final question. Okay, so Peter has said, as fans, we sit and discuss the games and we identify shortfalls and what we would do differently. Most of my buddies, and I have to say, most people I speak to as well, and even tonight on Gers TV, we discussed the Bruges game and we said we played deep, keeping the defence solid for the first 20 minutes, and then we go and lose 2 goals in 12 minutes. in the first game, and then the second game, they score after 4 minutes. So Peter's question is, and we'll just ask this quickly: Does Martin actually know what football's all about? Does he know the game itself?
Yeah, you two start off.
I think he likes to tell everyone he does, but he's not convincing us of that at all. That's for sure.
If you're speaking, you might be on mute, mate. Or
Am I on mute?
something might have happened.
I can hear you fine, Jay.
All right. Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
I can hear you fine.
We're good. Yeah, but like I was saying, I think he likes to try and convince people. I think he speaks well, Russell Martin, but everything he says, literally the opposite happens. So yeah, I don't think he knows football quite as well as he thinks he does.
Okay, Dylan.
Just agree with you. Yeah, it's the same. He says everything you want to hear, but can't back up with the results. He should be going away and pinpointing the mistakes of the defence. Like, they're far too narrow. Maeda will run circles down that flank on Sunday if we're sitting that narrow as well with the fullbacks.
Okay, Lewis.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know that he talks a good game. I mean, he talked a good game, certainly to Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart. So, I mean, he sold that he apparently plays a high press sort of attacking football. When have we seen that in the even 15 games, if you're including the friendlies, in the last couple of months? When have we seen that at all from Russell Martin? I mean, he knows the buzzwords like pretty much every single manager in the world knows. It's constantly all the fans above like that, but I don't think he does, to be honest. I mean, if you look at the Southampton team, second worst ever Premier League side, 14 points or 15 points, I believe, they got last season. So,
okay. So, going to finish up in a wee second. Going to ask you all for your predictions, though, first of all, for Sunday. So, without much further ado, we'll come to you, Lewis. Funny you should say that, actually.
Oh, no.
So, we'll come to you, Lewis, first. Give us your predictions for 12 o'clock Sunday, first Old Firm game of the season, Rangers versus Celtic. What's the score going to be?
5-1 Rangers.
Jason, oh, he's having a drink. Dylan?
3-1 Rangers.
So we've just spent the last 45 minutes talking about all the doom and gloom and how we're having a good manager, but we're all going to win good. Jason?
5-1 Rangers. I'm confident.
I'm going to go 3-2. I think we'll go behind twice, and then Big Miofsky scored a winner, 90th minute, 3-2.
Yes, good man.
That's the thing about football. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how doom and gloom it is. When you look forward to the next game,
it's going to be quite funny, to be honest. One set of fans singing "Sack the Board" and the other set of fans singing "Martin get to." Yeah. I mean, you all know the other word. So
there's one thing that is guaranteed though at the weekend: there is going to be absolutely no hiding place for Russell Martin. And if we go 1-0 behind, yeah, I wouldn't like to be him. That's for sure.
No, I've got to agree.
I think it'll be a draw on Sunday. I think it'll be two teams that don't want to lose, and they'll cancel each other out. I think Rodgers have done a bit of pressure after what happened to them this week as well. Don't forget, and Russell Martin's obviously under pressure. So it'll be two. I think it'll be two teams that don't want to make any mistakes. It'll be a tight game, closely contested, and I think it'll be a draw. And unfortunately, that doesn't suit Rangers at all. But I do genuinely think it'll be a draw on Sunday. Okay, so that sounds about right. Sorry for people watching at home if you had any issues technical with the sound tonight. We do apologise about that, but we got there in the end. So first of all, I just want to say thanks very much to Dylan. Thank you for your company tonight.
It's no problem at all.
Oh, good. Jason, thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, cheers for having me again.
All right, Lewis, thank you.
I loved every minute of it. So I have.
It's always good. And Simon's in the background, of course, the head of the Gers TV, making sure it's all worked correctly tonight. So thanks very much for joining us all tonight. Thank you very much for your comments. Big game on Sunday. Stay safe, and always remember, we are
the people.
The people.